What is happening? Guys, what is happening? Whatever we do, nothing ever seems to work out. The only time anything ever does work out is when it is done that way on purpose. It's an illusion, it's a hoax, it's a scam, it's a plot, it's all, it's a game, it's all just made that way to ensure that no one is ever truly happy or satisfied. No one must ever know what's really happening. Everybody must suffer. It's an endless maze. It's an endless journey to nowhere. Everything dies in the end. Now, when that death occurs, what happens? Is that it? Do we just fade into nothingness, into a deep void of just nothingness? So everything just is an accident. It comes from nothing. How can something just come from nothing? How can everything just appear? Your awareness of self, everything. How can that just happen by itself? There's got to be more to it than that. There has to be more to existence than just being a slave to a piece of paper that we created, that consciousness that intended in order to regulate itself, or should I say scam itself. We keep crawling through this tunnel and we keep waiting to come out the other side, and it never fucking happens. Now what the fuck is kind of an existence is that? We're just coping and gasping for air, basically. We don't know. We're trying to keep our heads above water, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Doesn't matter what you call it. But everybody, most everybody knows what I'm talking about, except for those that are just chasing the fucking carrot in front of the horse or whatever. And you keep moving through this dark abyss, waiting for there to be some kind of light on the other side, or some kind of prize, some kind of reward for all your efforts that you've toiled through for so many eons, and it never happens. So the only thing I can think of that would be a reward would just be death itself. The Grim Reaper standing in front of you. Come with me, you can reap the benefits. Or it's just some place that we go to that resonates with us once it is supposedly quote unquote all over, because nothing ever really is all over. We're eternal consciousness, we're eternal mind, we exist beyond our mind, our thoughts, our emotions. We exist beyond all that monkey crap. We are just capable of so many things, and we have basically, dare I say it, dumbed ourselves down, giving birth into this realm. We wanted knowledge and we got it. Yeah, we got the knowledge. It's the knowledge is that it's just experiencing everything that we're not. I've heard it said. It's which is basically just confined and having to suffer and having to do all these mundane things that most people don't give a fuck about. Therefore, it has to be something more than this, because nothing can just appear out of nothing. There has to be something more than just nothingness. Apparently, we're here to have an experience and just move out of that experience at some point. We crawl into a hole, we come out, and we come into another hole, we come out. We're in and out. Everything has to end at some point, and then eventually we have to start anew with a different one, Otherwise, we're just dancing around in the garden, figuratively speaking. It's got to be some kind of challenge. We got to go through some kind of knowledge, if you know what I'm getting at. Pain and suffering in order to learn and grow spiritually. Otherwise, we're just floating in a void. It gets boring. We're bored, right? I'm bored. I'm bored with being happy all the time. I'm bored with sitting in the pool. I want to get out of my skin's all wrinkly. What do you want? I mean, I'm going to get a sunburn. What do you want me to say? I'm going to fall asleep and drown if I keep this up. I'm drowning. Get out of the water. I'm too happy here. Let's try something else. Let's have some kind of experience where I'm just being blown around in some kind of earthly experience instead of just soaking it up in spiritual bliss. Everything burns away eventually. We get elemental world where we're not just floating in a void anymore. Now we got something to deal with, so that hopefully we can spiritually mature in some way. Not that we weren't always spiritually mature. Oh, we were always spiritually mature, but it's boring just floating in spiritual perfection. It's just we're already everything that we're looking for. There's no fun in that. Where's the fun in that? But at the same time, it doesn't have to be to where there's so much suffering. There can be a more pleasant experience when going about these is crawling through the dark abyss, and we're just creating whatever experience we want. Why can't it be a pleasant experience? Why can't it be an experience where we're growing, but at the same time we're enjoying the experience? It can be light and dark. Light and dark exist together. It's a point of what the point is, how we act on that, how we use it to our advantage. And if we're not using it to our advantage, we're cheating ourselves. And we're cheating others. It's really quite simple. I've heard that Occam's razor, the simplest explanation, tends to be the right one. Well, just where I am consciousness. And we bring everything on ourselves. And every action has I've heard it said every action has an equal and opposite reaction. If you do something, somebody else is probably going to want to do something either to counter that, in spite of that, or just to, just to even the playing field. But very rarely does someone do something and everybody else just follow through with it. Most people are going to want to think for themselves. And then that is deemed unworthy and unloyal or unlawful and unruly in this world. You need to conform. Be a slave to society. This society, we've already taken care of everything. Everything's already been dealt with. Now, you are only allowed to do what the system, the structure wants. And that's still all a creation of consciousness itself. The mind and your emotions indicate how in tune you are with this great consciousness that we are. Where does the consciousness come from? It's endless. It has no beginning. It has no end. It just is what it is, right? Well, everything has to come from something. I just made that clear, right? Well, it's just consciousness. The fact that you're aware, the awareness that you even exist at all, the little voice in your head as you're listening to this content is the fact that I'm speaking to you, that I know that I'm speaking to you, and I know that you can hear it, or you wouldn't be listening to it. There's a difference between hearing and listening. You hear something, yes, but you're not listening, and you're not taking it to heart, to mind, to soul, you're not understanding what intent, meaning, significance behind it. Everything does have a purpose, and the purpose is to grow spiritually, to become aware of the self and what the self truly needs. What you want and what you need are two different things. What you need is to simply exist, be aware, and be happy, basically. Simple. What you want is something that is like, you can think of that as like a bonus. Like, oh, I want this. Why? Why do you want it? You always have to ask why. And it's like most people just say, I don't know, I just want it. Yes, but why? Why do you want it? I just want it. Yes, but why? Because it makes me feel happy. But you already have that happiness in your consciousness, right? We already have all this beyond our human experience, because consciousness can take on any form, create in any environment it wants. Right? We're here in this matrix, and we're teased into thinking that we want things. You know, we don't realize we already have it. Everybody looking outside of themselves instead of just looking within. There's nothing outside of us. This world has created the illusion of that you have to go out there to get it. And the root of this is paper money from the trees they print out every day. And that is the money, the root of all evil. Well, who created the money? The people, the consciousness, trying to control itself. Everybody regulating it, everyone and everything regulating itself throughout the ages, because all we have is the here and now. And we're creating the illusion of endlessness, when everything is already here and ours for the taking. But no, that's the last thing these so-called authorities and elites want, is for them to realize that everything is already ours for the taking. So we create the illusion that you're one amongst many, and that you'll never achieve this, or, acquire this, whatever, unless you go through hell to get it. And then once you do have it, what are you going to do with it? What are you going to do that you couldn't already do before, whether you realized it or not? It's all just a meaningless cycle that just endlessly goes on and on and on and on, over and over and over again, constantly creating the delusion that you have to work hard in order to acquire something. And it never happens. I am that I am. I am. I think I'll roast some marshmallows now. Bye-bye.